Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I'd like to thank everyone for all the views that I've received over the last few days after releasing the first video on the Cyclekart. As you can notice here today, we're going to shoot another quick video, and what I'm going to do today, I'm going to concentrate a little bit of work back here on the back of my deck lid of my panel that's going to be able to be fiberglass, so I can take this on and off and get into my engine compartment. But the reason why I took everything off, I've still got some work to do. Excuse me. I've still got some work to do and some fitting, some more brackets, some more welding, but the cart's starting to get a little rusty, and I wanted to get all these seams welded up anyway and get those ground down looking good. And then I'm going to metal prep the chassis where it'll turn this thing into a copper pin, and it'll protect it a little bit further from getting rusty. And that'll make these videos look a little bit better. So today what I wanted to do though is concentrate just a quick video back here and show you what we're doing on the deck lid on the part that I'm going to fiberglass. I've got a mold that I've already got started. So let me set this in place and I'll show you how we're going to fix this and what it's going to look like. So hang on, let me get my part. Okay, if you can see this, I'll show you what I've got today. I've got some high density foam, and I've fastened it to a piece of 1/2-inch plywood because I want to keep this. I want to keep this, and I don't want it trying to keep it where it stays, where it stays strong. I don't have to worry about it falling apart as I continue to use this. I'll be using this to mold the deck lid all the way back every time, and you can kind of see now the direction that this is going to go on the cart. But I've got something that when I laid this out, I actually done the measurement from here back to the very bottom of the steel, which left a little gap right here, and I'll show you that in just a minute with my tape, with my measuring stick here. So I went from right here down, which this is really level, looks really good, but I didn't think about having it going from up here down to here, so the angle is a little bit sharper than I wanted. I need to go right here, and I've got a pretty good gap there, about a 1/2 inch that I need to take care of. So what I'm going to have to do, the good thing about spot welding all of these pieces in, and this is actually welded in pretty good, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my grinder out here. I'm going to cut this loose. I've got it supported up here, and I've got it tacked in pretty good. So I'm going to take my angle grinder, and if I've got enough disc here to reach these parts, I'm going to cut this loose, and I'm going to swing this forward, and hopefully only about 1/2 inch to 1 inch to make up this gap difference right here. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to do that, and then I'll weld this back in place. I don't want to lose all the work that I've done here. I hope I don't have to. If I have to, I just will. That's part of building a cart and doing this thing as you go. So you make changes as you see fit, but I think it'll look better if I bring this up a little bit and not make this look so sharp, and I'll be able to do some more sanding on this and get that looking good. So let me get my angle grinder out. I'm going to cut this loose. I'm going to remove the foam here. This is just high density foam that you can get at Home Depot. I believe my son brought me enough of this to do this here and get this shaped out, and I really appreciate that. That was nice of him to do that. So he comes over and takes a look at the cart every now and then and check out what his dad's doing. So anyway, I'm going to remove this. I'll get my angle grinder out, and let's cut some of this up here and see if we can move this forward. If not, I'm just going to cut the whole thing off, start over, and we'll go from there. Let me get my grinder. Okay, I love this tool, but like I say, I'm pretty short on disc, and I haven't made it to the hardware store today to get any more. Normally this is a 4.5 inch angle grinder, but I'll get a big 5 inch, and it gives me a little bit more reach to cut these these things off when I want to make changes. So anyway, I'm going to cut it here. I've got some supports up here I need to cut off, and I've got one piece welded right in here I'm going to have to cut off. But again, I'm going to try to save this. And if it swings forward, great. If it don't, again, I'm just going to cut the whole thing off and I'll start over. This is a piece of 22 gauge steel. This is 1/4 inch round stock here. That's pretty inexpensive, about $3 for a 4-foot piece is not too bad. So anyway, I'm going to cut these off. Let's see if we can get this done. Now, you're thinking about safety glasses. I can't wear those over my eyeglasses, but I'm good here. This is the way I'm going to do it. So let's see if we can cut this off. That's hard to get to because the discs are not that big. Almost. Let me come at it from over here. See if I can get to it. Nah, not really. Here, let's work on this one. All right, got that. And if I can get this one, like just a little bit on this one right here, let's try to get to this one. Let me see if I got a little bit bigger disc here. Got a couple more. They're all pretty small. Hang on. Let me get this off of here. This one's a little bit bigger. I keep these little ones because I can cut out some small stuff when I need to, but I can't reach very far with the small one or with these little bitty ones. Let me see if I can get under here. There we go. I did. Got that off. That one's off. Now I have a little bitty place right here that I think I actually welded. This is not welded to this back here. At least I don't think it is, but this is. So let me cut into this a little bit and see if we can get that cut loose. I'll do it like that. All right, let's see if this will move at all. Can't tell how much I've got into that. I think that's what's holding everything together. Well, it must be. I think that, let me get my other glasses on here. Takes two pair to do what I do. Yeah, I think I'm welded in still right here. Let me take a little bit more of that off. There we go. That worked. Like I say, I can add to all of this later. That ain't no big deal. Let me set my piece back up here and see how well it fits. All right. That fits right there. That goes in there. That picked that up quite a bit. That's where that would go. That goes there. Now I've got a pretty good gap right here, but I've got about 4 layers of fiberglass that I'm going to lay over the top of that. Let me get my yardstick here and see what this looks like now, and we can adjust this accordingly. Okay, I think I can bring it back some. Yep, a little bit more. And again, I knew it wouldn't take much to get that out of there. Now, by the time I add, let me see, go a little bit back a little bit further. Pull it some more. Okay. Now I've got about the same gap right here, about 1/4 of an inch. Is where I went with that to make that level again, because this is going to have several layers of fiberglass on it, and that's what I need until I get my mold done. This will be a reverse mold where I can you know, lay all my fiberglass on the inside. I can shoot a gel coat, and I'll end up with some good tail pieces over, you know, be able to continue to do those and make as many as I want in case I crack one up. But I think that's going to work right there. So I'm going to weld this back in place. Excuse me. I'll weld this back in place, and I may have to add, I'm going to have to add just a little bit of rod right here, which is okay. That's no big deal, especially with a MIG welder. That works okay. Here, this is all going to get body worked. I'm not really concerned about that, but I've got a good gap now where I can finish sanding this down, and I think that's exactly what I needed. So I'm going to get the welder hooked up. We'll weld this, and we'll just keep on going. So thanks. Hang in there. Got that cut loose like I wanted to. Think it's going to work out just fine. Thanks. All right, I got the welder hooked up. Let's do a couple of tacks here, and I'll get everything back in place on my little panel back here. Get my welding helmet, trade my hat in for a welding helmet. If you guys want a good welding helmet, this is one of the best in the business. This is a Speed Glass by 3M. They're expensive, but if you care anything about your eyes, it's worth the money. This thing is super fast and does a great job. I've been wearing one of these ever since they come out. That's been a long time. But anyway, this is a great helmet. Get my double glasses on. Again, I don't have my regular glasses. When I'm doing this kind of work, I can't wear my prescription glasses because it really, you know, it messes them up, and they're expensive. These are just cheap readers. So I double them up. If you want a good conversation piece, you wear 2 pair, and people really get confused about that. So anyway, let me get my good hat out of the way. Lucky enough, when I cut this off, that one piece of steel bar, the little 1/4 inch, I've got enough to weld in here, and that'll keep this from moving back and forth. Then all I really have to do is add a couple of small pieces. And again, I've got it right here. I'll just cut these off with my angle grinder, weld that back in. If I have to shape them up a little bit, that's okay. But all this is going to get really, you know, detailed with the flapper disc, and when I get ready to start doing that, so that's going to work out fine. And all this is going to get bondoed and body work just like you would anything else. So it'll be okay once I get this tacked back in place. So let me get going here and tack this piece where I can keeps this in place, so I don't have to worry about it moving when I get ready to put these pieces back together down here. Took care of that. That's not going anywhere. And I've got a little bitty one right here, about 1.5 inches long. Now it was about 1.25 inches. Now it's about 1.5 inches. Let me cut me a little piece right here, and I'll run that from here to this. It doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't have to have one. Pretty stout, but I'm gonna put one there anyway. Let me cut me one of these. Let me see. Let me mark that. Hold on. All right, let me get my Sharpay, and I'll cut this off and make me a new piece here, weld that in. That should work out okay. I just wanted to show you this because I really did build this cart, even though you didn't get to see me do that. A lot of people don't show their work. I don't know how much you really want to see it anyway, but I did build the cart, and so I thought I'd better show you, at least know how to weld. I'm not bragging about it, but I'm a certified welder, both in TIG and MIG, both. I've been doing it for 30 years. So anyway, let me cut this off and we'll tack this piece in. That'll work. All right. Let's see if I can hold this in here and do this. I think I can do it left-handed. Let's give that a try. Well, I said I could. Hold on. I got excited. Again, it is cold out here. At least for me. I'm an old Tennessee boy. I didn't mind the cold weather when I was a kid. But I had a full bird colonel tell me when I was in the Army that I'd be okay with the hot temperature in Texas as I got older. And you know what? He was right. The older I get, the better I like. I don't like all the summer heat that we get here in Texas. It's hot. I'll take the cool weather any day. But it is chilly today. All right, let me get this in. Tack that over. There it is. I keep wasting my wire here. Again, I'm right-handed, not left-handed, but it's working. Well, solve that problem. All right, got that done. All right, that's back in place. Now I just got a couple of small pieces to go back down here, and that should put everything back in place. These are real small. I got to squeeze it in a little bit because when I raised it up, it spreads it out a little bit further. That's not too bad. Let me see over here. Yeah, let's tack this panel. Let's tack this outside panel since I don't have the other one on yet. Let me come over here, see if you can see that, and I'll push that in. There you go. Takes care of that. We put one more on it. There you go. That's not coming loose. Up here, it never really cut loose anyway, but to tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill a little bit of that in since that cut into my steel there. Let's spot this in a little bit. Come here, helmet. Okay. Getting a little windy. It may blow my argon away. I'm running a solid wire with a 25-75 mix, but it can blow it away. I've got it set at about 25. There we go. That'll hold that. And that's 22 gauge steel. And it's not blowing through that, so I'm okay with that. All right, there's a little piece. Do these little quick spots and it doesn't burn through it so bad. Now, I can add, I'm going to add my little, that's a little bitty piece of wire I'm going to add, or a little piece of steel, solid rod. I'll cut me a little bitty piece there and tack that in, and I'll be able to do the same thing over there. And that'll get us finished up for what I'm going to do today. Then I'll bring you back on the next video. Again, I just want to show you I do know how to weld, and I am building this cart myself. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'll weld this in place, and then on the next video, I'll start, I may weld a little bit of this up, but I'm going to start on this piece where we can get this looking good and kind of see how the cart's working. Here, I don't need both of those now. So anyway, thanks for watching this video today. That's going to be about it. I'll come back on the next video, and we'll keep going. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.